Yeah, what's up, guys? Appreciate you having me, man. This was an awesome blast watching it last year, and blessed to be a part of it this year with you guys and everything. So, uh, just actually was at a clinic, the DFW clinic that Coach just mentioned a minute ago. I'm picking up some good stuff last night and everything as well. But blessed to have the opportunity to be here and everything. I didn't do a slide with with my past. I'm an O-line guy, through and through. Started off, played at Baylor University out of high school, graduated in 2000. Immediately kind of got into coaching. And the crazy thing is, got into coaching with the guy that I currently work for now here at Allen High School. So, I've kind of gone back with that guy and gotten back with him and, got back together again, here at Allen High School. So the school we were at first was a 1A school where we had about 40 kids in the graduating class. So it's quite a different set of circumstances, if you will, here at Allen, where we have 7,000 students and about 400 to 500 kids in the program. So from ninth grade all the way up. So just a great place and everything like that. But, I was a head coach, after Bosqueville High School was where I was with him first. After that, I was at DeSoto High School up in Dallas. I'm sure a lot of folks have heard of those guys, state champions this year as well in 6A Division II here in the state of Texas. After that, I actually went back to my hometown, which is Angleton, Texas. Was there for 2 years before I went to Manville High School down in the Houston area. I was at Manville High School from 2006 to 2016 as the offensive line coach there. Run game coordinator / OC for several years too. And then following that, for whatever reason, I decided to to jump into the head coaching world. So I became a head coach at Clear Lake High School, which is a 6A high school down in Houston. If you don't know where that's at, it's down by Kemah, Galveston area, but also where NASA's right down there in the backyard of Clear Lake High School. So I was at Clear Lake for the last 7 years. As the head coach and athletic director on campus. And then, I just wanted to get back to coaching ball again a little bit and just wanted to get back to coaching some O-line. And so Coach Wigginton's been working on me, ever since we coached together way back in 2003 to come and join back with him again. And so, I just, like I said, just wanted to get back to coaching some offensive line again and, been blessed with that opportunity here at Allen High School. To be the offensive coordinator and offensive line coach here now, and everything. So that's kind of a little bit of history of myself. Like I said, I don't want to bore you guys with too much of that stuff. Just kind of wanted to jump into it a little bit, if you will. Kind of want to do something a little bit different. I mean, we're an inside zone, outside zone team. We have all the gap scheme stuff as well. The heavy personnel is something that, I'm really kind of trying to dig in myself and learn more about it, and do a little bit more with it, if you will, because we do have, the personnel kind of to do that here at Allen, as well as some other guys. I'm sure other people across the nation have the ability to do as well. But this is something that it grew a little bit out of not a have to, but kind of a need to, if you will. Our starting quarterback broke his collarbone week 1 of the playoffs this year. It went down. He was a running threat, throwing threat type guy, but when he broke his collarbone and went down, obviously we went to a little bit of wildcat stuff, and then just the offensive line coach and me, we started kind of coming together as an offensive staff and realized we needed to run the football. And we got a little bit of a wildcat formation with a do everything type of kid for us. And we just started adding more hats into the box, and eventually we look up, and we're in, obviously we ran unbalanced, and everything like that. But and I'll skip over the slide there. We ran unbalanced and everything like that early on a little bit, not a ton. So there's not a lot of clips of that I have on here. But kind of as that need to, situation kind of occurred, you look up and you've got 6 O-linemen in the game. And then the next thing deep into the second, third round of playoffs, we're looking at, we got 7 offensive linemen in there and trying to run the ball downhill. And, for us, can you run out of it? Can you pass out of it? We were able to do both at times, for us. But it's kind of the evolution of what we were doing. But I don't have a ton of clips on some of the certain sets because it's still kind of a work in progress. I want to kind of expand that thing. And, any guys that do have a lot of experience in the unbalanced or even, the heavy personnel stuff, the 7-0 lineman, 6-0 lineman stuff as well. Man, I'm ready. I'm all ears, man, because I like this stuff, and, it really digs into, I talk about it in a minute, but, it really gives your kids an emphasis of like, hey, we got 7-0 linemen in here. Like it's just a mindset thing that kind of comes along with it. So that's kind of what we like about it. For us, what constitutes heavy for us, I feel like unbalanced is heavy. I mean, I may be wrong on that. People may disagree with that. But to me, I think when you go unbalanced, you're trying your very best to, in different cases to see how the defense is going to align to it. But also you're getting a little bit of you're getting your best offensive lineman possibly together, on the same side, and so, that's kind of what we feel about it. Our 12 personnel stuff, different forms of it. We got a ton of different ways to get into that. Our 6-0 line package, like I said, it's a true offensive lineman that comes into the game. We also go unbalanced out of that as well. And then our 7-0 line look package that we had as well. We called it Big Seven. Big Seven, is our 7-0 line look. And then everybody's got a goal line package. I got a few clips of that on here as well. You go over there and they won't say it, but every defensive lineman wants to play a little O-line or actually want to be in the backfield. They want to block a little bit, So we feel like bringing those guys over and throwing them a bone a little bit on the offensive side, kind of gets those guys excited a little bit, and when they come over to that side again, it's an instant, feel of, hey, we're running downhill on you. But again, we do have the ability to pass out of it as well and do some other things. So, numbers, obviously this time of year, everybody's breaking down their stuff, looking at things and everything. And so, just going back and doing a deep dive into our stuff this year, our heavy sets, what we define as heavy, 15% of our downs this year, it accounted for that. Average run game was about 4.3. Average pass game was about 8.4. The effectiveness of the play, which I consider, it's not a negative play or it's a 0-yard gain. 87% of the time we were going, 1 yard or more. And I'll be honest, 82 plays this season total that we ran it. There was 11 touchdowns on it because, again, obviously we get in the red zone, you get down there close. You're going to jump into these, a heavier set, possibly bring an extra O-lineman in. Not to take a shout out to NFL, but hopefully, I understand in the NFL, those guys got to check in. Luckily, in Texas in high school football, you don't have to do that necessarily. So it's kind of, you don't have to worry about that too much. It's for that debacle that happened with the Cowboys. So anyway, in the Lions. But for us on the year, 11 touchdowns on it, 11 explosives, and we don't necessarily run these heavy sets looking for explosives. But depending on how the defense lines up to it, how they account for it, it did lead to some explosives for us this season, which was really, really great when you do a deep dive back into it and look into it. And when you're doing your weekly self-scout, you look at those things as well. And then on the year, also, it was 15 passes and 67 runs on the season that we had. Why we love it, I feel like, there's some obvious reasons, but then there's some others that might be a little bit less. The hat differential, more hats in the box, on the offensive line with the offensive line mentality. The more hats in the box, that equals more gaps. We feel like if we can get people, having to fit different gaps than they normally do, or playing just a little, things just feel a little bit different. Whenever you add an extra hat in there in the box, and the different things you can do in heavy personnel. And so, you might get, that safety having to fit in a different spot than he normally likes to. You might find out real fast that the safety, he sees all those extra linemen on there, and he might start getting a little nervous, as well. And so the extra lineman might come and light him up a little bit. So we feel like also, again, like I mentioned before, establishing a tone. It's a physical brand of football. Even if you're throwing it out of that, we don't need our pass pro. We feel like it's not passive either. We can slide. We can slide protect it. You can also honestly man slide it. It changes a couple of things here and there, but You can full slide it. You can play action it. You can do all those things as well. Personnel match, it matches kind of what we have. Personnel wise, we have the ability to kind of throw some guys in there, offensive line wise that need in the game, but we're only starting 5 of them at a time, obviously. But you're able to get a 6th and 7th offensive lineman in there. That's good stuff too. Eliminates the guesswork sometimes when you start throwing those extra hats in there and you go heavy. The option out of some defenses, is a lot of them will go base, and so if they go into whatever their base is, there ends up being somewhere out there, there ends up being a mismatch in the run and passing game that we may be able to get. So our unbalanced 11 personnel, we set a 3-man surface with our 3 best offensive linemen possibly. You get that left tackle over as the extra guy, and you got your 2 tackles next to each other. It may be your 2 dudes, and so it allows for that. We run our full offense out of it. Again, our gap scheme, our inside zone, our outside zone, all of our passing game as well. We love it. Obviously, we love it versus odd fronts, because it kind of makes them declare a little bit and change a little bit. You might that outside overhang. He may have to come down now and play in the box where he might necessarily not want to do that, and so we like having the getting that little bit of that declaration out of him. What are you gonna do, and so it can grow the mentality of your team into a gritty team. As offensive line guys, we all love that. Who doesn't want to be a little bit more gritty? And then if you don't have a true blocking tight end, but you're running your tight end sets, it allows you to get away from that a little bit, and obviously we would all love to steal the tight ends a whole lot more, and have them with us. I feel like we do a great job. Our H's coach, John Broom, does a great job with our guys at tight end. He's an offensive line guy that's with those guys full time. So they definitely, can block it here at Allen. And so, but if you don't have that guy and you don't get to spend a lot of time with him doing it, you can you can get away with it a little bit more than that. Our 12 personnel in general, we feel like it allows us to, run and pass both out of that. It mimics our spread formations. We can move guys around, and we were blessed this year where we had guys that could stay in for those things. For example, our X receiver, could easily slide in and be the point guy on our tight bunch stuff when we were running duo and things like that. So it allows, you have that guy on the field already, and he was also the Wildcat guy that would slide back there. So what that allowed for us was, it looked like some spread stuff. Our head coach, Lee Wiggins, is very big on, we'll line up in something and jump to something else also, and just try to get the defense in positions that make them a little bit nervous and not what they thought was coming. So if you can couple it with tempo, if you don't have to change your personnel, you can couple this with tempo, and it's even more effective. It's even more deadly, if you don't have to change personnel in order to do these things. So, the tight end H position, if you have that kiddo that's, more of a deep threat and one's more of a blocker, you have that flexibility to kind of use that. If you got an athletic tight end that can do both, then, awesome. That's really, really good. If you have 2 of them that can really do it, then that's really, really awesome. So the mismatches in the passing game or, up front wise too, both of those can present. And the last thing is, again, if a defense is, if their bases that go to a cover 3 look or something like that, your seams are open to those tight ends. If you got 2 of them in the game, 6 or 7 O-line looks, we can change the surface real easily. We can go a 4-man surface, possibly a 5-man surface. You can do some of those things, which, we were prone to do at times. We would actually do that. And again, like I mentioned earlier, you have that 6th and 7th O-lineman that instead of having to sub him in and sub him out for another O-lineman, you actually get him in the game, and he comes in with that gritty mentality, and he's able to roll a little bit too. So that helps kind of getting those guys and keeping them engaged and part of it, and knowing that they're all a big part of what we're doing. It changes fits for defenders as well, like I was talking about before. We easily max protect out of it. And the last thing is, everybody in a stadium knows, a lot of times, hey, everybody knows we're about to run the ball downhill, and there's good and bad of that. But I mean, we enjoy it, and like I said, and then you throw a little play action in there, and then things change a little bit for them. So answers from the defense, we see different things from the defense, the defensive perspective, and there's probably more things than this, but this is just kind of some of the things that we see. A lot of them will they'll disguise their coverages, to how many hats they're going to have in the box and what they're doing. Some of them, like I mentioned earlier, they'll just go to base. They'll see a heavy formation coming in, they're going base. And so again, the advantages of having not to change personnel, help a lot with that. If you have hybrid guys, that can do both, that can play the pass, play the run, if they have those guys, great. And then the other thing is from their perspective, sometimes they may want to bend but not break, limit the big explosives. And again, our we would love explosives every time we snap the ball, but in these heavier packages, at times, we're not going into it expecting an explosive. We're looking for dirty runs. We're looking for 3 and 4 yard gains. At times, this may be something that we institute to kind of finish out a game. It could be something we run in the middle of the field in the middle of the game. It's just the variety of it. When you use it, is kind of what works best for you in the situation that you're in as well. And then, if you're successful with it and the defense doesn't have an answer, their only hope is that you get out of it, And so get into some film a little bit, the tackle over stuff. And like I said, I'll go kind of through some of this. Again, this is a gap scheme. This is our, we call it GH counter, basically, out of a Wildcat set. We got a pull and kick guy. Coach was talking about counters earlier. Our kid comes a little flat. He comes flatter, and then he has to adjust. Love for him to get more on 31 there off the edge. He does take the high side, so we're able to get underneath it. This is a Wildcat formation, third round of the playoffs. A lot of times you want those guys. You don't really want those guys bouncing this thing. If I go to the end zone view, you can see everybody kind of coming off. They're coming off of patience. Our 2 tight ends are to the right over here. We got one cutting off C gap or cutting off B gap now, actually, because it's tackled over. And then got a double team coming off on the other side. Decent job by 51 getting interior with his left arm kind of posting that up for 74. I left the line on there actually. We'd love for this guy to hit it right there where that yellow line is. So you can see it open up right there. But that's an example of our gap scheme out of it. Here's another look of it. This is off a little jet motion as well. Puller comes flat. It's decent start on the start off. I don't like how he hops 76, hops outside there for a second. We like for those guys to stay on the path. What we say, come hell or high water. If he would just pull left, hit left, like Coach was saying, that's the same exact thing we coach. But sometimes these 16, 17, 18-year-old kiddos, they're knuckleheads sometimes. So, but we like to play. Running back's patient right here. We'd love to have an explosive, a huge play and all that, but. It ends up not being that. But, again, you can see down here on the bottom, this is Midland Legacy, number 90 down here as defensive end. This is us asking the H-back to do this, who's a tough kid for us. But you see 90 getting after him a little bit down here on the bottom. He pops him pretty good right there in the jaw, and then he kind of corrects himself. We'd love for 10 not to let his hat get outside. We just want you cutting off 90, man. Like, if you got to throw your body in there and just lay down, then great, skip the end zone to that one. We go tackle over here, okay? Little play action off of it. Okay, our quarterback reads it pre-snap. We were actually going duo on this a little bit, running our duo that we love so much here as well. Quarterback pulls it, throws the snap route outside. It's a little bit low. It ends up being incomplete. I think if he handed it, I don't know if we get through that crease or not. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But quarterbacks, they make those decisions, and we let them roll with it. So, too hot off the edge. We have other calls that we do to account for that in different run game that we do. He liked the throw. He liked the matchup. So, 2 true tight ends. Okay, same side up here at the top. Okay, we're gonna run a little jet motion, running our duo stuff here. A little kind of an all-out blitz here. Again, 3rd round playoff game. Later in the year, again, this thing kind of evolved a little bit as the year went on. Bodies on bodies, no safety in the middle of the field, really. And you can kind of see how it sorts out. So, and we draw it up on the board. We want it to work 100% the way we draw it up all the time. But you see on this, the bodies get picked up, so as an O-line coach and as a running back coach, when you see, that right there, and the guy in the pinstripes, the only one that can make the tackle, which they do at times, we give our running backs a hard time if that happens. But, when you see that right there and you pick that up correctly, it's a beautiful thing, and again, we're not asking a ton out of our H. We're not asking a ton out of our, our two tight ends that are in there per se. Cut off some stuff, fit on some stuff, get a body on a body. Here's a look at, we're just running power here, to that two tight end surface over there. Would like for the guard. It's a little bit later in the game. Not all the starters in there per se, but would like that guard to keep it tight. I would like for him to fit off of 74's inside hip right here. I'd rather him be going, right through here looking for this guy. But again, that's kind of what you get sometimes. You coach these guys up on everything and take the good with the bad sometimes as well. But great job by the left tackle here with his cutoff. Okay, he's able to get +2 kind of on this, be able to get that defensive end kind of high walled up the field. And so at all times, always again, teaching physicality and everything like that as well. You just want bodies hitting the floor as well.
Hey, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Question here: do you play with your splits?
As far as the O-line splits?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, at time to time. I mean, we try not to do it where we're just obnoxious with it. Obviously we try to. We'll tell guys to, that, they can cheat them a little bit where it's just not obnoxious, and things like that. So it may be that another guy might have been in a game that might not be in a lot. He may be really, really close to that guard or that center because he's a little bit scared. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, we'll tinker with them a little bit. If we were talking outside zone stuff and things like that, we might tinker with them a little bit on that. But with our pull stuff, typically we don't as much. Just kind of depends. This is a I counted it as a two tight end look. That's more of a wide receiver kiddo, but I went ahead and threw it in our 12 personnel stuff here. Coming in motion here. We ask our wide receivers to block their tails off too. And so this is an example. The wide receiver coming back in motion. We got them to overload a little bit to this side down here. We motion. We get them to kind of get back out of it. And then it works better for our fit, for our pull out of our quarter. Our quarterback ends up pulling this thing right here. So ends up being a little bit, a little bit powerish type scheme, if you will, a little bit different play that we run. So when you have a quarterback that can run a little bit, it's a good thing. And again, down here, close to the goal line, little play action stuff off of it, and again, we missed this. This is against a big district game for us against McKinney High School down here in Dallas also. But, obviously, they just got a little excited because it was wide open. But, you do so much stuff and you run that same look as before, and then you just slip that tight end out there. He was a little upset, that he just didn't get to walk in on that one right there. But, again, the play action stuff, again, at the end of this, I've got, my email, my phone number, things like that. I'm more than open to anything. If any guys want to talk about any stuff at all out of the, the heavy personnel, again, I'm ready to learn about anything, man. I'm excited to, to talk and clinic with guys and everything like that. So, I just want to throw that in there just to show you that you can do, a little play action stuff off of it. So, this one a little bit more, this is more, again, if we got 4th and 1, 4th and 2, more than likely, if you scouted us, we'll probably run in duo. And so this ends up being a duo look out of that two tight end set. Like Coach was talking about earlier, coming off the ball, and I played, Coach, I played for a flat back, bow the neck, and da-da-da. But, man, with defensive linemen and the way they play nowadays, man, you're going to get swat and swam, real fast. You're going to get your weight maybe too far forward. We're more of let's get on, let's displace. I guess I'm having ends on that. Let's get on, let's displace. If it's a double team, obviously do our thing, take our right steps. They work out a little twist on the top side right here as well, on the bottom down here. But it's patience to violence. Is a lot of what we do. Obviously I want them putting guys on their back and everything like that. But if you don't get initial contact on those guys, then you don't have the opportunity to put them on their back. And so we try to get fits on guys and then go to work on them. And so just like hopefully, I know everybody out there teaches the same thing. And then this is a little jet sweep out of it. To the tight end set over there at the top. Love the double team between the left guard and the left tackle up here at the top on the top side. Between these two guys right here, they do a great job. 51 and 79. Take 33 for a ride and dump him. Probably should have came off to somebody else, maybe to kind of keep maybe that linebacker that made the play right there. But anytime we see physicality of our guys, man, we're going to celebrate it. This is a big first round playoff game against Louisville, who's very, 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 very talented as well, and play hard and have a good scheme. So, we'll take 5 yards. We're not. This is Denton Geyer. This is a read play. My center's not that bad, I promise. This is a read play, high snap, not good out of him. But this is a read play. We're reading that nose guard. Quarterback ends up having to take he's making the read a lot quicker than he thought he was going to have to, and his eyes had to leave it for a second. But just a play to kind of show you can get lucky out of some stuff sometimes also as well. But we're reading the nose, we're running stretch one way. Quarterback can pull the other way. So, like I said, Denton Guy, very, very talented. Going back to another 2 tight end stuff. And again, 3-yard gain. It's a dirty run. Okay, that's power read right there. Again, same deal. You may look at it and go, "Dang, golly, man! Like hit it right there, please." And it's an explosive, like no doubt. So that's a young sophomore quarterback that's going to be a great one. And again, third round of the playoffs and all of that. And so, again, as O-line coaches, we feel like hit it up inside, and that's the shortest distance of that end zone when you do that. So, again, I'm going to skip past the 2 tight end stuff.
You got some questions right here, Coach.
Oh, yeah. What you got, man? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Coach says, what tends to be your first answer when defenses match your personnel and they get a stalemate?
When he's talking about just when we're running the football, we may, if that's the case, then we may run a little play action off of it. We have a few answers. If they do load the box up. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If they match it up, we believe in what we believe in, and again, we're typically, we may spread it out. Again, I feel like our tempo, I feel like our ability to not have to change personnel comes in handy for us. And it gives us the flexibility, versatility to kind of get out of some stuff possibly if we don't like it. But again, like we believe in what we believe in too, and like I said, we're gonna run duo, in some sort of way, in every sort of way that you can possibly run it as well, out of different looks as well. So, if they're matching personnel, we're still going to take our chances and see what we can do with it. So, we feel like the versatility of the speed sweep and getting on the edge with the interior running game as well, coupled with the ability to play action out of it, we feel like all those things give us, at some point, it gives us some sort of answer out of it as well.
He also says, and when you're in your unbalanced, do defenses tend to overshift to you? Because when we got into unbalanced this year, personally, definitely teams were overshifted. They didn't really see it before. So, yeah.
There was times early we were running, and we tried to account for that, and that's why having the ability, if they overshift it, having the ability to run your counter back away from it, and do some stuff away from it, or a run read possibly as well. That kind of holds that front side while you do get out the back door on it as well. So, it's set up for us when they overshifted it. It set up good angles for us for some of the stuff that we like to do. But yeah, some people did overshift to it. It played in a little bit to our protection scheme if we did play action it as well. So we tried to have an answer for those types of things also. So, again, this is in, and if there's any more questions, just let me know. Just this is our 6 offensive line set. This is us running, a counter scheme back away from it. Also, this is our GH counter. That's an extra offensive lineman in our left tackle. We got our backup right tackle is over there as lined up kind of as the top side as the tight end. Just running some gap scheme. I would really like for the right tight end, the guys line up 75, to be more patient we tell them all the time, if they're +1 or, if you got man on, man outside, be patient and collect this, possibly on the first level. So don't like that part out of him. He does track up to a backer, and all that, but I would rather him just collect that front side initially because I feel like we still have numbers for it. I think 85 would have came around and got who the tackle ended up getting to possibly. So again, little gap scheme. Same thing here, 75. He's in a different spot this time. He's as a left tackle. Need a better step out of him on the initial part as well. Cutting that off and walling that down. But we are running duo here. It ends up cutting back all the way back across the board. Now, and I'll say this. I mean, if we ran duo 150 times this year, it hit play side about 4 times. So it was a rare event if that thing hit play side. So our mentality on it is, at times we're play side A, all the way out the back door possibly whenever we block our duo. So again, this is kind of our mentality. But again, I'd really like to have a better block out of 75 there, but he is able to watch it eventually. So a little bit more 6-0 line stuff, kind of trying to run a little power out of it. Got the backside guard pulling around. Would like for him to get up in there. Again, this is a little bit later in the game. Backup left guard is in there. It's still a 9-yard gain. Still a positive play. He skip pulls, gets up in there, just go create a hole. Like for 74 to get up in there too as well. Again, late in the game, trying to finish the game out here. Go to our 6 offensive lineman set. This one actually hits. It does hit play side this time. So, and like I said, this is kind of that point in the game where we actually got that first down and ran the clock out there to finish out the game. So, just a good tough run out of that guy. Okay, same thing here, running power back this way as well. Again, would love for the left tackle 72 to latch onto that guy so the puller doesn't have to kind of account for him right there. Or 72 needs to just go on to the next level as well. So I'm going to skip on a little bit past all this and get into 7 offensive line sets. Again, this is a second round playoff game. I'm sorry. And you don't see, you're like, man, coach, they ain't firing off the ball. They're coming off the ball. Their feet are moving. They're taking their steps that we work every day under our shoots. They're going with patience to violence. You can see them searching, for bodies, and so, that's a big part of what we do. We have great running backs that have great vision. And again, we just want to grind up front a little bit, and just grab bodies, and so, you can see a little bit, the safety number 7 coming down. He's not quite sure. Is this thing going to go outside? Is it going to go inside? He's a little bit late to the party and decides to kind of shut it down a little bit for a second there. So, again, 7, for us, it ends up being a 19-yard gain. If it had been 6 or 7, we're just as happy, because, like I said, it's 7 offensive linemen in the game. Our mentality has changed a little bit. So a little bit from the end zone here. Love 76 and how he posted up right there. Like Coach was talking about earlier. 76 just a senior kiddo that just grinded his way in the starting force this year, and everything like that. I got here back in April to Allen High School. Like I said, after giving up my head coaching job down in Houston, and got to know these kids, man. What a great group of kids, and everything like that also. So, they try their best, man. They want to please, me as their offensive line coach and Coach Buckley, who's their O-line coach as well, the head coach, their teammates. So again, I mean, just proud of how they performed. They're not perfect by any means, and all that, but I love them to death, So this is a little stretch out of the Wildcat stuff. Getting on the edge here, we're asking our running back to go out there too. In the past, we'd probably tell our running back to run and cut, and obviously we can't do that anymore. But he goes and busts the guy up, and one of the biggest things for us is, we're going to be pile pushers, and so, man, I told our kids, man, this one gave me goosebumps right here, man. Like, this is late in the game. We're trying to go down for a game time score, second round of the playoffs. We end up winning on a walk-off touchdown by our running back, but you're getting this effort. It's play 185 in the game. You're getting this kind of effort out of your guys, man. Like, they're bought in, so that's, you can go, obviously there's lots of talks about, buy-in and getting kids to play hard and just things with offensive line, but man, it's really cool when you see it on film and it translates. And these guys are doing everything they can do to push that pile. So, again, this is another duo out of the same play. This is the walk-off touchdown, second round. This one kind of more is all on our running back because we got two guys that show up in the hole. He does a great job. I mean, sometimes, the Jimmies and Joes matter a lot of times as well. So just a great play by him to win the game right here. So backside, definitely need to cut off, do a better job on the backside cutoff as well. Needed to be better, but like I said, sometimes good things happen when you have a longer surface. It's just different gaps for kids to have to fill, and so it's different. It's different telling the surface is long over here. I've got a 5-man surface over here down on the bottom side. Just running a simple stretch play, getting up in it. We'd be happy with the 3, and he almost pops through this thing and takes it on to the next level. So, and you can see this early on the film here. We do line up and jump a lot. We actually jump the two offensive linemen this time as well, and the tight end kiddo as well. So we're actually jumping. That's our starting right tackle and left tackle that are both jumping. And you see, we're just trying to get body on the body. Okay, and again, this kid almost squirts out the other side. Like I said, we're happy with the gain on that. Again, same thing here. A little stretch stuff. We like for our blocks to be better, obviously, but again, just outmanning people. A little bit up front. I'm gonna skip past our big 7 stuff. Heavy stuff, obviously, this is where we throw a bone to our D lineman. We got a defensive lineman in here at fullback on the top side. He's going to go play. I believe at Rice University, but he's still making decisions. I believe. We just got big bodies. We're trying to wrap around. We're trying to run power. It's obviously a short distance to go, but we're trying to get bodies up in there. This is an unbalanced heavy set with some D linemen in the game, simply because we were in a field goal extra point. And we jumped real quick to an unbalanced set, and we asked our kicker, and you can see he might be scared to death down there at the bottom. We're asking our kicker to pick off the backside edge, which I would like for him to have got the other guy that was inside right there, 94 possibly, or 84 possibly, but just, tempo thing. We jumped into it. We were lined up for a short field goal late in the game, and, kind of rolled the dice here and felt good about what we were doing with this and watched that thing go. So ended up being a different look at an unbalanced for us.
Coach, I'm going to need you to send me that. That is
I got you.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it was, like I said, more than anything else, it's just kind of one of those, it's kind of one of those nail in the coffin moments too, man. Like, do you take the field goal or do you take the touchdown? So it was good stuff, man. Here, same deal, a little unbalanced early in the year, second game of the year probably. Puller gets knocked off. Right guard gets blown up. Again, our offensive line got better as the year went on. We averaged 240, 245 rushing a game by the time the end of the year was here against a really great schedule. We go all the way to the 4th round of the playoffs. We played DeSoto week 1. We played CE King week 2. So we played the state championship team, regional final teams. In our district, we have Prosper, Denton Geyer, a lot, great teams that throughout the whole, up and down our schedule, great teams, each and every week, nothing but respect for the teams we played. So, but again, you see our guard get pulled off here, but hitting it downhill, the different gaps that you have to fill, there's, again, just different gaps on that and everything. So, and then shout out to our student section back there. You can see those guys in the background, man. Like, our student section is awesome here at Allen High School. I'll tell you that, man. They race to get to those seats right there. So, really cool for them too. Heavy D line, D lineman, linebackers in the game. Same type of stuff here. We didn't end up not getting in right here, but I really feel like had we hit it, possibly we let a guy skip out. And again, this is probably 4th or 5th week of the season. We went to more 6 and 7 man stuff. Again, how much time do I got, Coach?
I'll give you go about another 8 minutes, Coach. Give me.
I got you. Yeah. So this is kind of my last little bit right here. We consider this a heavy package. Also, again, this kid at the top right here, that's the kid that played out wide for us. He was our Wildcat guy. He's our point man on he's our point man on our tight bunch stuff when we run our stuff out of it as well. Just an all everything kid. He's got an offer from Navy. Southern Arkansas, some others, but just a great kid, man. Team captain for us. So we consider this a heavy look also. This is us play action out of it. We call it diamond. Sometimes it's diamond up. Sometimes it's where they're back next to the quarterback. Throwing out of it, again, I didn't show you a ton of passes. And, again, we only passed, 17 times per se out of what we call our heavy stuff. So, just a little pass just to get you out of the box right here. So, it's a lighter box, but we still like what we got out of the passing game in this one. So, again, I only have the tight angle on this. But for the offensive line, it's just a slide protection. We feel good about it. Tight end's off the edge, and running back is off the edge also. So we're actually in a 7-man protection that we feel good about. So running back's looking off the edge as well. We account for bodies on bodies. Quarterback's got time to throw, and we like it. Make the catch on that. We go diamond. This one's a different look because we're back a little bit. We go diamond on this one. I'd like for my tackle to come around the horn on that. A little bit better. This is a true counter off stretch action right here. Quarterback reads it. Again, it ends up being a dirty run. He ends up popping through right there. This is a game he actually broke his collarbone in a little bit later than this, but this is first quarter, again, against the Louisville team that's very, very talented. Yeah, pulled the cameraman right there. Diamond again, another pass play out of it. Like for our running back to check. He's helping. He's actually helping out the kiddo that's a right tackle. He also has the ability to scan, and maybe account for this guy's coming off the edge over here as well. So again, a true 7-man protection. I think same kiddo, pretty much same play. This one takes me back a little bit right here. This is when I was at Manville High School. Some of you guys may recognize, we had a starting quarterback at Manville named Derek King, who I think a lot of people have heard of before. Was a great quarterback for us at Manville High School. And his backup at Manville High School, taking the snap right here in this play, was Kyle Trask. He's a backup to Baker Mayfield with Tampa Bay Buccaneers, had a great Heisman Trophy finalist career at Florida. This is a diamond, what we call diamond at Manville as well. But we just all we did was take one of the backs and put them on the other side. We actually called it diamond stacked, I believe. But this just running. Well, what I loved about it is just a nasty, gritty play, running straight ahead. It's just double lead, and we get lucky because one doesn't fit in the box effectively on this. But again, different fits for different gaps, and different hats equal different gaps sometimes. And so this running back right here ended up playing at Ole Miss. We went to the 4th round with those guys 3 years in a row. But again, just the initial part of it, I like the grittiness of it. 44 is a defensive tackle that's coming through first. And again, this is 2015. So we're able to run through there and cut guys differently than we were before. Same thing back in Manville. That's Derek King at quarterback there. We run the counter to the other guy. We have the ability to run an option off of it. If he reads it correctly and wants to, he has the ability, he's handing it with one hand there, so that's probably a giveaway, but he has the ability to ride that. We're running counter, true counter one way, counter F one way, and then we have the ability to run option with the quarterback running back to the top side as well. But what we like about it is counter. Again, a gritty run down on the goal line. I like a better, guard pulls flat. That guard ended up playing in Indiana, had 38 starts at Indiana. Left tackle, I love the physicality of him taking his guy to the end zone and finishing his guy. That guy had a great career at Austin Myers at TCU and also played at Memphis and finished out at Memphis last year. So, again, just different options you can run out of what you call your diamond. It's good stuff. Then we also had the play action off of it. Being able to max for, we actually released these guys. We protected it with the running back. And then, great throw by Derek. And sometimes your great throws end up, not being caught sometimes. So, great job up front by those guys, though. So, again, back to our diamond, another run. We started messing with a lot of some duo kick stuff as well. Which, again, if you guys want to talk more about duo stuff, I'd love to. I'm ready to learn anything and everything I can about duo, as well. It's a ton of what we do here as well. If guys want to talk about that, feel free to reach out to me and all that. Again, protecting it, making it look off the play action here as well. Great catch. That was actually a completed pass. It's a good job by a wide receiver. But again, you can see we're sliding in here. Not a great job by 74, my right tackle. He should have been, and this is Prosper High School, who does a ton of movement. So, it's a different mentality that week a little bit, but a ton of movement they do. 74 should be almost hip to hip with 76 right now. We are 7-man protecting this. Almost actually, I mean, it's pretty much 8-man protection, if you want to be honest, out of this. So, we felt good about our matchups out there as well. And so, again, great job by number 5. Again, like I said, he's a do-everything guy. Ain't afraid to stick his nose in on a defensive tackle, to help get that playoff right there. So, again, you can max this thing up, and in our world, we love that. If you can 8-man protect something and like your matchups outside, then great. So same thing here. We actually release one of them. We're 7-man protection here. We release 5, get him in the middle of the field, run a little route in the middle of the field late in the game. He gets a big catch for, I think he might have got it for a first down right there. It's close. But again, going to the end zone here. Same concept though. We're sliding it. We're looking, we're better job by my guys there. H is getting hit a little bit on the top side. The running back's there to kind of help out, if he needs to as well. So, again, different options. Same thing here. A little slide, but it's an incomplete pass. But sorry, my bad. Let me go back to. Sorry, Coach. Let me go back to my information. Am I good, Coach? You want to?
Yeah, you can pull up your information. Good.
Got you. Okay. So again, that's lots of different ways to spell McRae. If you want to find me, that's the way you spell it, though. So you throw a couple of C's in there, or a couple of R's, and all that stuff, or some Y's. But again, that's my information, man. Feel free, reach out. You text me. Text me if you want. Email me if you want. I didn't put my Twitter on there either, but it's very simple. It's at Larry W. McRae on Twitter or whatever. Also, so and everything like that. So. If you, like I said, reach out, feel free to reach out. I have other things that I've done. What I thought was a cool idea, the clinic that I was taught that in Orlando recently, just taking one drive offensive line wise, and the diversity of one drive was really, really cool, and kind of did a deep dive into that as well. And then also how we handle 5- and 6-man pressures and things like that as well. So if any guys, want to talk ball about any of that, man, I'm always open. Appreciate you having me on and all that. Do I need to stop sharing on here or no?
Yeah, you can if you want to.
Okay.
There you go.
I was trying to up. So, but again, I mean, if any guys want to talk ball, man, like more than happy to, I want to learn just as much as, as the next guy for sure. Cause, definitely don't know it all. Definitely don't. So, but appreciate you having me on, man. I love what you do, man. And like I said, getting anytime offensive line stuff's out there, man, it's just it's a great thing, man. That's what I am. Born and bred. And that's what my son's a sophomore for me here at Allen High School, playing for me now as well. So just a cool deal, man. We want to be as good as we can up front, just like everybody else. And we're blessed to play against teams that have great offensive lines also. So I'm able to take ideas from guys all the time around here. But man, like I know there's great knowledge out there around the country, and you do a good job of getting that information out too. So I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Hey, like I said, make sure y'all hit up Coach, because I'm over here taking notes. I'm taking like screenshots. I'm over like this stuff is absolutely awesome. I love 6- and 7-man O-line stuff. Yeah. I love unbalanced stuff. Like we dove into that towards the end of the year just because of based off of personnel and what we need to do. But yeah, it's I think that's the new frontier of football to a certain extent because it's so different and not many people are seeing it. So you can kind of trip up some DCs week to week. But, Coach, I appreciate you coming on and talking.
Yeah, man. Anytime, man. I appreciate you, man. Good luck to you guys. I'll be watching the rest of the day, too.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Yep.